What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the selfsame spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Doma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador. Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Help! 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 Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu! A font of misery! You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks, at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins
With you!
Yotsuyu! What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
brother dearest. What a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Doma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Doma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Naiuri, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Doma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning!
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I have become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Doma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all! Going to be a long night. Whoa!
here.
swift knight. I shall prevail! Your end is near. In summer's gloom, black tendrils trail. You under my feet!
You really must learn to finish the job. Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger, then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
But I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Doma woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Doma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you. What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead. He will mourn Tsuyu, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos! Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asahi, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone? Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale. I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo. I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an impostor has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Corps? The idea is inconceivable, absurd. But worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second-in-command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pybus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk his life on countless occasions. Next to him, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu, your hair.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.